Yo, what's up guys, it's Talon. Today we're going to be showing you how to play the best champion in Wild Rift, and I'm sure a lot of you are surprised to see that Amumu is the best champion in Wild Rift, but trust me guys, this champion is actually insane. I'm going to talk to you guys about the two different types of builds you can play. Here we're going to be playing the tank build, which typically is going to be Shattered Crown, or Searing Crown rather. Then you're going to usually go for Mercury Stone Plate, but you could go for obviously Armor Boots and then Stone Plate if you need. Sunfire Aegis, Thornmail, Wind Guard, and lastly Psychic Projector. The runes for that build are going to be Glacial Augment, Gathering Storm, Giant Slayer, Legend Omnivamp, and Overgrowth. And then if you do want to know the AP build as well, you go for Mana Boots, Leandries, Soul Stealer, Deathcap, Riftmaker, Psychic Projector with First Strike, Purge of the Colossus, Second Wind, Overgrowth, and Pathfinder. So I know that was obviously a lot. You guys can go back if you're trying to find the specific build later. I just wanted to get that out at the start so you guys knew the two different builds. Typically, you're going to want to go for the tankier build if, one, you're not as good at Amumu, so honestly, I've had more success with it because initially I've obviously been learning the champion and been getting better at it. So the tank build is a bit easier to play, and it's going to be better in the earlier parts of the game. But the AP build is going to have a couple really distinct strengths, one of them being that it's going to be really good whenever you already have some type of front line. But it's going to be extremely effective in the later parts of the game. The scaling on this build is absurd. Just really, really good scaling overall on Amumu's AP build. So definitely if you prefer a later game build, that's what it's going to be useful for. And so now to explain to you guys why this champion is so strong. So you can see the first reason is this clear speed. I am literally going to finish my entire clear by about 1 minute and 30 seconds, and that was with me missing my first ability on the red buff. If I hit my first ability on the red buff, it would be like 128. So you can literally full clear in 1 minute and 28 seconds, which is absurdly fast, and so that clear speed is huge. Another reason is the recent buff Amumu received on the patch, making his second and third ability more effective. Just overall very, very strong buffs that he got there. He has really good ganking. He has that build diversity that we spoke about with building the AP build for scaling late game when you need that more damage and the carry potential, and then having that more tank build that's better on in the earlier parts of the game. Both of them are extremely effective. He's just overall a very, very strong champion. Very versatile, very easy to play as well. So if you're trying to pick up a champion, it took me maybe 3 games to become pretty good at this champion, and we're already doing pretty well. I think I'm like 5-3 right now with him on the season, and that was with me starting off not as good, learning the champion, everything like that. And so initially here, we ended up getting double scuttled, so we don't have as much to do, so we're just kind of looking for a gank here. You guys are going to see that the early game's not going to go the best, and like I said, I was in some ways learning this champion, not perfect at it. You see the nice little ult flash there, though, to get to the Seraphine. We missed our first ability because I suck, but, it's all good. We still ended up getting the kills. So that's the one thing. You have really good ganks as soon as you hit level 5. You can just have easy ganks set up like that. You saw me just first ability to a minion, and then ult flash, and what can they really do? Now we're just going to go back to clearing, which, again, you have really good clear speed, which really helps you out just in general. Because obviously, if you can clear really fast, then you don't have to spend as much time farming. You have more time to gank, more time to make other plays, everything like that. And then another insane thing about Amumu, guys, is the Baron clear speed. So if you're playing the AP build, you can kill Baron by yourself in about 10 seconds on 3 items. And if you're playing the tank build on 3 items, you can also kill it extremely fast. It's just going to obviously take, a bit more time because you're not going to have, AP, so you'll have a little less damage. But you still have a lot of damage with this build. That's why you're going for the Searing Crown plus Sunfire combo. For those wondering, yes, they do stack. The component, I believe the component that you build does not stack, like the burning component does not stack with Sunfire, but the items themselves stack when you complete them. I think that's how it works, but I know that the items do stack overall, so it still works perfectly fine. And then the reason you're usually going for Mercury Treads is because you have the armor on the Searing Crown initially. And then here you can see we can just go and help out with our teammate. We're just kind of farming here. That's why I haven't talked too much specifically about what's going on. Since apart from that one gank, it was mostly just farming. We ended up missing onto that Wukong there. So ended up kind of trolling there. And then you're going to see me get caught here. So it ends up being kind of bad. We do still kill the Wukong, so it's not the end of the world. But because I missed my first ability, we end up not being in the best spot. And the early game doesn't really go the best for us. You can see Rumble is already 4-0 right now, absolutely popping off. And so he's a very, very big threat to us. And the game is, kind of looking rough because of that top cap that we have right now. And like I said, I've been missing a lot of spells at the start of the game, so it's not going the best. But you're going to see the power of Amumu with the later parts of the game, even with the tank build. And like I said, having that build diversity is just so nice. I definitely expect Amumu to get nerfed soon because I'm assuming his win rate's really high based on the fact that he's really, really strong, and he's an easy champion to play. So those two things in combination obviously are going to make it so that the champion's probably going to win a lot of games. So now we're going to contest Dragon here. The reason I'm going to go for Dragon is because my top laner is losing really hard. And you typically want to contest the objective of the lane that's doing better. Obviously, you would prefer to do the Herald if you can, because it's just overall a better objective than first Dragon. But like I said, because of the fact that my teammate is getting stomped, we had to go here instead. But he ends up, the mid laner, Akali, ends up getting kind of caught there. But at the end of the day, still survives, and we're chilling. So now we're just kind of focusing on getting that Dragon, trying to scale up, again, focusing on playing around our stronger lanes, everything like that. So a couple things that I've learned about Amumu so far, guys. He's not a complicated champion, but there's some things to keep in mind. So the first thing is, try to keep your second ability active at all times if you have your blue buff. If you don't have your blue buff, then you have to pay attention to it and not keep it active at all times, because then you're going to run out of mana. So make sure you're clicking it about 5 seconds before you start a fight. If you, again, don't have your blue buff. But if you have blue buff, you can literally keep it up at all times, so you don't have to think about it, don't have to worry about it, anything like that. Additionally, the third ability is an auto reset. So you can auto attack, third ability, auto attack. And then you can also slightly move both when you're doing your first ability and your third ability. So say you throw out your first ability, you can move a little to the left or the right in between that in order to kind of dodge a little bit or avoid, someone killing you or whatever. So that's an important thing in movement wise. And then the third ability, like I said, as you're kind of using it, make sure you can use the animation time of the third ability to move a little bit if you need to dodge or you want to, run back or forth or whatever. Those types of things are minor things that I've learned from an Amumu player, like a really good Amumu player on our server named Shyster Nick. He's the one who gave me these builds as well and was teaching me just in general how to play this champion, because he was playing the champion for me earlier on when I was duo with him this season, which is where I saw like, wow, this champ's really strong. And then again there, I missed my first ability, obviously kind of unfortunate there. Could have just auto-aimed it. Would have been better when he's on top of me. But yeah, you can see the early game not going very well. Overall, I really didn't need to contest that scuttle, mainly due to the fact that, like I said, my Jax, he's getting destroyed, so I really shouldn't play around him at all. I should pretty much ignore his lane or anything to do with that side of the map, apart from farming my camps, and so that was the big mistake I made there. So we can see, again, the Rumble is going to be a very big issue. And if you guys are wondering my opinions on Rumble or any of the champions, I'll be making a video on the meta in probably about 4 days. I want to give you guys a couple more videos on specific champions that I think are really strong right now. But obviously here you see we had an opportunity to possibly kill Rumble, and so we want to try to kill him. Just because, if we can get that shutdown, it's going to be ending up being very good for us. But you can see how tanky he is because of the fact that he got so fed. And so our Jax, I think it might end up dying. I'm not sure. But we just end up trying to kill that Rumble there. And even though we don't have much damage because he's so fed, we're able to get him at the end of the day. So it works out. And this was one of my first Amumu games as well. So I was getting used to the champion. You can see I accidentally clicked my second ability and deactivated it. That's a bit of a bad habit that I would have when I was playing this champion initially. I don't do that anymore when I'm playing him now. But again, this was one of the earlier games where I was kind of not the best at him. And I think the nice thing that you can see here is how effective you can be even when you don't know the champion perfectly. And I still have those tips that I was given from, again, a really good Amumu player, so that you guys can still have those tips to understand how to play it better yourself. So definitely I recommend spamming this champion as you can. Also, if you didn't know, when you get hit and you take damage, your third ability cooldown gets reduced. So you want to actually get hit by everything at once. Like say you're farming a camp, you want to try to let all the camps hit you in order to increase your clear speed. So that's another small thing to keep in mind. Main goal here right now is getting to that Sunfire before the next dragon and then seeing if we can contest. Again, if we can kill that Rumble, we're pretty happy. Otherwise, we just want to take a fight when Rumble's not really too nearby or anything like that. Obviously, you can see here I'm kind of low mana, but I'm just trying to get to my item. Really the only concern right now before that dragon. If you're able to hit 2 items, usually you're pretty happy. And yeah, like I said, guys, especially when you're playing the AP build on Amumu, make sure that you're looking to sneak Barons. That is something you can do on this champion way more than most. Literally 12 minutes, Baron spawns. If you see the enemy on another side of the map, just go do it by yourself. You can solo the Baron if you're on 3 items. Even if you're on 2.5 items, you can still solo it most of the time. So just keep that in mind. Be very aware of that. Don't flip, obviously, into, say, a Nunu when you don't know where Nunu is. Certain champions, you're not going to want to flip into because their smiting is too good or because they might be nearby. But oftentimes, you can look for it. And so we're going to catch out the Aurelia here. We're going to go to our blue buff because blue buff is obviously really, really nice for Amumu, like I said. You can keep up your second ability at all times. But yeah, if you guys are also wondering some of the other best junglers on the patch, Vi and Ambessa are definitely the other 2 top tier jungles in the patch. A lot of tankier champions that have more sustain, better long-term damage are really what are strong in the patch right now. Not really the burst focused damage champions that have been really meta for a long time. And so you can see here again, we're going to instantly start the objective. You can see how we're able to do a lot of consistent damage to it. Obviously, the enemy end up showing up, so we kind of have to back off and wait for our team, but we're just kind of trying to force a fight. And because I'm so tanky, I don't mind doing something like that. And so here we're just going to now try to get the objective, try to hit the smite on it, and we do successfully do that. And then I miss another Q. You can see how many Qs I missed this game was pretty absurd. And then we get an ult flash onto 3 people. So that was pretty big there. The gargoyle buffs, by the way, guys, I thought they were nerfs. I have not said this yet in the video, so that was my bad. I should have said it earlier. The gargoyle is actually like really strong right now, and I misinterpreted what I read on the patch notes and thought it would be really, really bad because I thought it was getting nerfed super big, but it's actually a buff when you are by less than 3 people. So anytime that you're using gargoyle now and there's less than 3 people nearby, it's actually stronger than before, and it's only weaker when you're by 3 or more people, and it's still relatively strong. So I was completely wrong about that, so my bad for misleading you guys there. I misled myself as well. I guess I just suck at reading, you know, unfortunate. But either way, just letting you guys know, gargoyle is still really good on all the champions it was really good on before. But again, you can see the enemy kind of invading us here. We're still struggling a bit. But we did get that dragon at least, which is something that's nice. So we're trying to get what we can out of our camp, but I kind of go too deep here. And I don't know if I end up dying. We just end up going onto the Seraphine because they get distracted somewhere else. So we could just try to chase the Seraphine there. And we do miss our first ability, but I think I'm able to get out now. I don't know if I end up trying to go help a Cowley or not. But you can see how fed this Rumble is, so kind of hard to fight into him. Now we try to ult just to save our teammate's life, but we don't save his life. And then I don't remember, does he get a pentakill or not? So we grab the... I think I have my gargoyle. I don't know if I end up staying alive here. Kind of forgot what happened in this situation. So we make him go over the wall, and I think I escaped then because I'm able to... Nope, I missed... Bro, I missed like 9 Qs in this game, by the way. The amount of first abilities I missed this game is pretty absurd. So don't do that. That's my major tip for Amumu, is don't miss your first ability like I have. And so then I end up dying here. So it's kind of rough. Again, you can see the game is going very poorly. And we had some better early games or games that went better early, but I thought this would be a nice game to really show you kind of the strength of this champion later parts of the game, because you will see how tanky we can be and the great setup that you can have and the plays you can make and everything like that. So I just thought I'd show you guys this game again. We have other games. I have an AP game. I'll probably at some point, if Amumu doesn't get nerfed really fast, I'll probably make a video on the AP build and say maybe a week. I don't know. Something like that to show you guys the strength of that type of build as well. But I have been like, I would say if you want to only play one build, to play the tank build, because it's easier and the early game is nice. But I do think you should know how to play the AP build. I think the AP build is really good. And I think it's better for 1v9ing as well. You know, it's better for hard carrying. And it, like I said, it's way better scaling, way better at one-shotting Barons. And in lower ranks, especially if you guys are, say, you know, a Plat or Emerald type of player, I really recommend taking advantage of the fact that they're not aware of objectives in that elo at all, and getting a lot of free Barons, because they're not going to expect at 12 minutes and 10 seconds for that Baron to already be dead with your absurd clear speed on the Baron. So that's definitely, again, why the AP build as well is really nice, as we kind of spoke about. But here you see I'm trying to clear, but I also am worried that they're going to go on the Baron, so I'm paying attention to that, trying to get over there just in case they do start it. And then so that's kind of what we're looking for now, is like they might be on the Baron, so can we possibly steal it or anything like that, because they're going for the flip. And so that's the main thing here. And so you're going to see I'm just going to end up going onto the Baron because they got off of it for no reason, and then we're just going to get the free smite there. So don't really know what they were doing there, but shout out to them for that. And you can see how long we're going to be able to tank here as well. Like, we're going to be very, very tanky, giving our Jax a good opportunity to possibly go on someone. And then I'm just going to run out because we have the Baron. I might as well just get out. No reason to go in. I could have probably killed that Aurelia, but then I would have just died right after. So is that really worth it? I don't think so. I'd rather just try to make it out with our Baron and try to just defend. We end up flashing out. And so now we gave ourselves a little bit of time with that Baron steal. And that's why you usually don't want to be flipping objectives like our enemy did when you are ahead, because now they're letting me get onto 3 items, which again, 3 items of my third dragon as a tank Amumu is going to make you quite tanky. And then also, to be clear, guys, obviously you could switch out the Thornmail in the build for stuff like Kainic Rockern if the enemy are a lot of AP. I actually really have been liking that item. For example, you could go for other situational items like Randuin's or Frozen Heart if the enemy have a lot of attackers or crit champions. And then here again, you're going to see, I don't remember if we end up contesting or not. I think we might contest because we do have 2 dragons, and so if we get the third, we get Soul. So it's kind of nice in that regard if we are able to end up getting the kill. But obviously, because we have multiple inhibs down, we kind of have to make sure we're clearing those waves first. But because we have the Baron buff as well, fighting with the Baron buff means it's definitely a chance we can win. It does give you bonus damage and tankiness as well, just better stats overall. So we end up trying to go under the Wukong there, but our Misfortune gets caught for no reason because, you know, why not just get caught for no reason? So now we're just going to look for a nice little ultimate here. We're going to end up getting a stun on a couple of them. We're going to shut down that Wukong, which is really big. And then you can just see how tanky we can be for so long there, while still getting good damage, having that CC. Jax with the huge stun there. And we just have great setup overall for our team. So yeah, overall we do end up dying, but we end up at least getting that shutdown for ourselves there. And I'm already almost on my 4th item, which is really solid pacing at this point. So hitting 4 items before Elder is usually really solid. Akali now tries to go onto the Aurelia. Tries to kill Seraphine, does indeed kill Seraphine. And then I believe this is one miss Q from Akali. Miss E from Akali. Also, Akali's my duo, and the Akali is a goated player. But I just want to make fun of them, because why not? So they miss a Q, they miss a E. Let's watch what happens now. Let's make fun of them, because who doesn't like making fun of people? Miss another Q. I think they missed that Q. They hit that Q. Shout out to him. Miss another Q. Okay, but to be fair, I missed like 6 Qs. Okay, he missed an E as well. To be fair, I missed at least like 12 Amumu Qs at this point in the game. So, you know, I also suck. But I just wanted to shout out Zero for also missing like everything there. You know, shout out to him for that. But either way, I've been doing with him a lot this season. He ended up just getting Master, as I've been doing with him. I'm like Diamond 2 right now. I think I might be close to Diamond 1. We're like 60-something% win rate. 60-something, around there. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, either way, we end up winning that fight. It's just a pretty messy fight, so not really that much to talk about. Just the enemy, you know, doing their thing. I think I end up Q flashing. Yeah, so you can Q flash as well. That's something to keep in mind. That is a combo that works. And we end up catching the Amumu as well. So overall, because we're able to do that, we're able to now get the dragon, which is the soul. And now I'm going to be 3 items as well. So I'm going to be 3 items with a soul and a strong Akali, who hopefully won't miss all of their spells in the next fight. Hopefully Zero doesn't see this video, because I think he might not do it with me anymore if he sees me making fun of him. But, you know, again, like I said, I missed even more spells than he did, to be fair. And I'm playing Amumu, who you shouldn't really be able to miss spells on Amumu, but, you know, I'm just impressive like that. And so we're just going to instantly go for the Baron because of the fact that their jungler's dead. And you can watch my team's already melting it. I'm going to get on it. I'm going to get a ton of damage on it immediately. And just get the easy smite there, and then probably just run out afterwards. So you can just see how fast we're killing it. Obviously, we have our team on it. So again, with the AP build, you'd see really how absurd it is. And then so we land the smite there. We get hit by the Rumble ultimate. And so I'm just going to recall, grab my item, Twin Guard. And then once you hit Psychic Projector, like if you're able to get 5 items, you really become a menace, because you get a lot of extra damage on that last item. And you already have a good amount of bonus HP with this build. So it synergizes pretty nicely. But yeah, now that we have the Baron, we just want to make sure we're playing around that Elder fight. If we're able to win the fight on Elder, then the game is definitely going to be looking in our favor, which is kind of crazy based on how you guys saw the early game go. But again, that's the thing about this champion. It's just like so hard to kill him. You saw how many times, even though the enemy, again, were way ahead of us, they just couldn't kill me. I was able to get really nice ultimates off, set up our team nicely. And again, this tank build is especially good with the duo, you know, like I said, with someone who's good like my Akali. I can have better setup and whatever. If I need to carry with the AP build, that's totally cool too. Try to land our Q onto the Rumble, but I miss it for the 94th time, because that's just who I am. You know, it's in the core of my being. And you can see how long we're going to be able to be tanky here. Miss another Q because, you know, shout out to me. We just end up trying to CC the Rumble, make him end up stasising, which is pretty important because he is kind of the main carry of the enemy team there. Miss another Q because, like I said, if you're not missing Qs, are you really even playing Wild Rift? So obviously very bad mechanics for me. And again, that's why I want to show you guys this champion. This is one of my worst mechanical games, which, you know, again, it's just a Amumu. And even though we don't even play very well mechanically, if you just, you know, make the basic plays, set up your team properly, find some engages, you're going to be crazy tanky, or you're going to have a crazy amount of damage depending on which build you go. It's going to be pretty straightforward to play. Your clear speed is going to be absurd, which gives you really nice pacing in the jungle early, like we said. So there's just so many good things about this champion that you can literally miss all of your spells. Like me, even though most of the spells are unmissable. The one missable spell, I'll make sure that I miss it. You guys can do that too. You know, you can try to have a challenge with yourself. You know, how many Qs can you miss, and can you miss more than I missed in this game? That's kind of the challenge. So let me know if you guys are able to, you know, beat my misses. I'd be pretty impressed if you can. But yeah, we have the Elder, so now we're just using the Elder and the Baron to just easily push down all of the rest of the turrets here. Trying to look for an engage, see if we can find anything for our team. We end up getting the nice engage there onto the Sivir. And so then we end up just, you know, blowing them up with the really nice engage. Again, if you do alt flash or a Q alt flash or Q flash alt, any of these combos are going to set you up for really nice engages overall. So now we're just, again, pushing everything, making sure that nothing crazy happens, that we don't randomly throw the game or anything. I can't really end the game by myself, so we're kind of just waiting for our team, just hovering the waves. I should probably recall at this point for Psychic Projector, but I don't know if I do. I guess we try to find the kill under the Seraphine at the end of the day. We grab multiple Qs under her. I actually landed them, so shout out to me for finally landing a spell. You know, it's very cool in my opinion. I said that and then I missed right away. Again, shout out to me, I guess. But again, at this point, I mean, the game is pretty much over. Pretty straightforward. Akali gets the kill there. We end with the Nexus. So I just wanted to show you guys this champion again, talk about some of the basic things on how to play it, some of the builds, how it all works, everything like that. Like I said, we'll be having a video on the meta soon, so you guys can know the entire meta and how it works, everything like that. But until then, if you're interested in coaching or anything, just DM me on Discord, Talon1169, or through the link in the description to my Discord server. If you're interested in joining as a member as well, you could do that. I have memberships on my channel where you get access to coaching notes and videos early and stuff like that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you later.